What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Giant Pregame Show presented by Sherwood Ford. Of course, I'm back here in the office, and I had to start off with a little bit of a tongue twister. Why not? Tyler, what's up? What's going on?
I'm excited that the show is back to normal.
I know.
The two of us, producer Liam, all back in the same room. It feels right.
I know, it feels good. What also feels right are 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And beating the LA Kings 5-2. Goal scored by Kane, McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, Yamamoto, and couple of big wins in Cali. We love to see it.
Yeah, we knew coming into this week that it would be big, right? You had San Jose, who's kind of fallen a little bit out of the playoff picture a little bit, and then LA, Anaheim, Winnipeg. Bang, bang, bang. 3 teams you're neck and neck with in the playoff race. We're both on the tongue twisters today. And it was a good win for the Oilers. Like, again, they didn't play great. It wasn't an A-plus effort by any means, but I thought they were the better team at 5-on-5. That's important. Their power play's lacking. We can get into that a little bit later on, but they scored enough to win. They got a clutch goal late. Not a lot to complain about in that one. I'd give them like a B-plus kind of grade.
Okay, before we get into like some serious hockey talk, I'd love to just bring up the Evander Kane moment where he quickly popped Lemieux in the face, because listen, I know that there's been a lot of reservation with Kane coming into the Edmonton Oilers organization. I'm not going to lie. I had hesitation. I'm rooting for Evander Kane, the human, as much as I am Evander Kane, the athlete. However, I have to say, this is what I've been wanting from like a Cassian for this entire season, to have a moment like that, because as much as it's a quick moment, it changes the momentum of the game when you're on home ice, when you're away, and I loved to see Evander Kane do it. And I mean, this guy smashes a pizza before every single game 8 out of 10 times, and you got to appreciate and respect it.
Yeah, I think it gives everyone a little bit more confidence, right?
Yeah.
When you have a guy like Evander Kane who's a little bit of a prick to play against, like everyone stands up a little bit taller, I think, on the Oilers when you're out there with them. So he's been a great fit on the ice. There's absolutely no denying that. They got him signed to the reasonable cap hit and all of that good stuff, and it's been a really, really good fit, and I'm hoping that him bringing that physical spark sort of in turn sparks everyone else as well. Like, hopefully when Cassian's back in the lineup, we start to see that from Zach Cassian.
Yeah.
Hopefully we start to see a little bit more of a mean streak from someone like Zach Hyman as well. And just everyone starts to buy in a little bit more, because that's something the Oilers were missing for the first good part of the season.
Contagious, absolutely. Let's talk about the fact that that win over the Kings puts them in 3rd in the Pacific. Obviously still a lot for the Edmonton Oilers to improve upon, but at least right now in this moment in time, we are trending in the right direction, and I think right now that's all us fans could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a playoff spot now, which is huge, right? Whether you sort by points percentage or just points, the Oilers have a playoff spot, and if they win tonight, they're going to be 2 points clear of LA, 2 points clear of Anaheim, and only 2 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights, and they have a game in hand on Vegas. So that points percentage gap between Edmonton and Vegas is going to tighten right up if Edmonton can find a way to win this game tonight in regulation, which, again, like, if you would have told me 2 months ago, I should say a month ago, when they're in the middle of their second 6-game losing streak, that the Oilers could catch the Golden Knights within a month, I wouldn't have believed you, but here we are.
But here we are. Okay, so my second favorite part of this game against the Kings was the fact that we were scored against first. Mike Smith, I'm sure, would love to have that moment back. It was not the best. It was not the best goal scored against us. I'm sure we could go on and on about that on this pregame show. However, the Oilers, in the past couple of months, when that would happen to them, they would fold. They'd get complacent. Now we're seeing a team that's able to, buckle down and get the job done, and I love to see it. And I'm saying, I know that there's still a lot to improve on, but man, does it feel good to know that, hey, if we have the first goal scored against us, there's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel in the entire game.
Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. Like, that first one was ugly. Smith had a bad turnover, and then just how that puck goes in is beyond me. But Edmonton found a nice way to rebound, and Smith himself found a nice way to rebound as well. He made some big saves for them, and it's nice. Again, it's that newfound confidence that they seem to be playing with. It feels like they have a little bit of their swagger back that they had earlier in the season, where it's like, hey, we go down 1-0, don't matter. We're going to get 2 more, and that's exactly what they did. They eventually got the lead, and even when they blew that lead late, they got a goal late as well. Kyler Yamamoto, second time this year, he scored like a clutch late goal as well for this team, which is huge as well, because you want to see Yamamoto get going in that top 6 role again. There are a lot of positives from that hockey game. The only negative I can think of was the power play, because that was a mess once again.
Okay, go off on the power play. Give us a hot take.
Like, they're clearly trying different stuff. I mean, we saw different forward combinations going out. We saw Darnell Nurse get some heavier minutes with that top unit as well. But, like, I'm just looking right here at some numbers. They're 5 for their last 31. That's terrible. They've allowed 2 shorthanded goals against. So in their last 11 games, their power play is only +3. That's just not good enough for how much talent they have out there. And we talked about it a little bit on the last show. I don't know what the slam dunk solution is. Maybe you need to move Nugent Hopkins off for a little bit. Maybe you need to put Evander Kane in a shooting spot on the far side. Maybe you do need to play Darnell Nurse over Evan Bouchard. I don't know. I like that Jay Woodcroft is willing to mix things up a little bit, and I do have confidence that when the power play gets rolling again, they will really get rolling. And they had a few good looks, but for the most part, it was the same thing as the game before against San Jose, where they just looked discombobulated. There was a lot of really dumb passes being made as well. The power play is not good enough right now, but unlike during the losing streak where the power play sucked and they sucked at 5-on-5, they're good at even strength right now. Like, their 5-on-5 hockey, they've outscored teams 25-16 in their last 11 games, and that is pretty much the sole reason why they're 8-2-1 in those games.
Guys, I'm looking at the Facebook chat, the Twitter chat. I think Tyler has the Twitch chat open, so please make sure you're commenting. You're telling us how you feel. Ask questions. We want to talk with you guys during this pregame show as well. And we brought up quickly Mike Smith, 30 saves on the night, helping the Oilers to yet another win. And good news, too, Mikko Koskinen is off of COVID protocol. So that's great. However, the news that broke that I think everybody was talking about online in terms of goaltending was now that Stuart Skinner is back in Bakersfield. Some fans, it's either or. Some fans are like, no, he should be a full-time backup goaltender. And while other fans are like, it's fine because under Jay Woodcroft, he's still going to get called up and he's still going to find some time on the ice. Where do you stand on this, Tyler? Do you like the fact that Stuart Skinner is back in the AHL?
I mean, we had the numbers up right there. It doesn't make sense why Stuart Skinner is back down in the American League. I don't get it. Mike Smith, 10 games played, numbers, meh, they're okay. Mikko Koskinen, 26 games played, numbers, meh, they're okay. Both those guys are below league average in both of those marks I'm looking at. Stuart Skinner, 13 games played, 2.62, 913 save percentage. You're trying to win hockey games right now. Keep the best goalie with your team. And I saw the reasons people were defending this when I pointed it out on Twitter that I was a little bit irked by this decision from the Oilers. People were like, well, you need to get Koskinen's trade value up. Mikko Koskinen has no trade value. And if he plays 6 games between now and the trade deadline, it's not changing his trade value at all. And they go, well, you don't want to make him angry. You don't want to lose him by sending him down to Bakersfield. Lose what? He's been average for you this season, below average for you this season. Sending him down to Bakersfield, the best thing that could happen is if he gets claimed and his cap hit is off your books. You're not risking angering him because he's not going to be here after this year, and he's not really going to be an important part of any sort of playoff run you go on. Stuart Skinner could be. Stuart Skinner's probably the future between the pipes for the Edmonton Oilers, and he's playing games right now and playing well in those games. People are pointing out, well, Koskinen's won more games than the other two. Koskinen's also won more games where the Oilers have had to score 4 or 5 goals because he gives up 2 softies in the first period. It's really annoying. If you're trying to win, why are you not keeping the best goalie up here and giving him regular minutes? And again, I'm sure that what Ken Holland's saying is, well, we want Stuart Skinner playing games. Look at the schedule. Look at all the back-to-backs. You got back-to-backs this weekend. You got back-to-backs next weekend as well. In March, you're playing every second night for the most part. You need to have 2 goalies that can consistently play, and why they think Mikko Koskinen gives them a better chance to win than Stuart Skinner is just absolutely beyond me.
I honestly think that if Tyler Yaremchuk was wearing a heart rate monitor right now, it would be max heart rate. And next time I want to work out, I'm going to go back to this pregame show, listen to that 90-second clip, and get fired up.
Well, it's just,
I love it.
I
love it, Tyler.
It would be like if you had a guy who'd scored 15 goals this year and you're just healthy scratching him for someone. Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
We have Cody Sigmund on the Facebook chat saying, I have a feeling Skinner is going to be back if we plan on going past the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like, the best case scenario would be the Oilers offload Koskinen, bring in another goalie at the deadline, and you don't even have to talk about Stuart Skinner being up here because they have whoever, Husso, Vanacek, Kemper, whatever the name is that the Oilers end up getting. And if he's not, I just don't see, like, we've done it before with Koskinen and Smith in the playoffs. It doesn't work. Give the young guy an extended look here. People are saying, oh, he's played against weak competition or whatever. The reason I'm so distracted is because Bagged Milk keeps airdropping me photos of Jay Woodcroft.
You don't understand the photos I've been getting from Bagged Milk right now. It kills me. I'm just like, look at I don't know if you guys could see this.
Oh my God.
It's Tyler. I'm getting all these images.
Mine are just a bunch of photos of Jay Woodcroft really zoomed in, and it's super distracting.
I feel like Bag Milk's watching the pregame show and watching my reaction as I'm secretly getting these airdrops, which I don't have the heart to decline because I want to know exactly what's being sent, which is so good. But yeah, no. So
knock it off.
We have Les Barker in the Facebook chat saying Koskinen is the answer. And listen, I've been Team Koskinen since I've heard him open up in what was it, the summer, that mental health, and it was a struggle. I'm rooting for him. But for me, when it comes to every single area of the Edmonton Oilers, the thing that I chalk it up to is consistency. And there has been no consistency between Koskinen and Smith's been dealing with injury, but still, the consistency is lacked. So give Stuart Skinner a chance. The guy's young, the guy's eager, he's breaking personal records. Why not? Give him some time in between the pipes and see what he can do, because now is time to continuously build that guy's confidence, and maybe he becomes a guy for us in the near future.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, look at when St. Louis went on their run and won the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
You know, it was Jordan Binnington, a guy who was on waivers in September, coming up late in the season and going on an absolute run for them. Sometimes you can catch lightning in the bottle with a good young goaltender like this. And I also think there's a chance Mike Smith catches lightning in a bottle, like we've seen him do for kind of 1 or 2 month runs in the past here as an Oiler. I'm just not convinced that Mikko Koskinen, he's a good backup. It wouldn't surprise me even if he got another contract next year and he's playing somewhere else in the NHL as a backup, making $1.5 million. Like, he's fine in that role, but you need someone who can consistently handle a better workload. Anyways, I hope Mikko makes me eat my words and his next 3 starts are all amazing and he steals games for us, and I can sit here and talk about how wrong I was about this decision. But right now, in the moment, it does not feel like the right choice.
1,000% agreed on my end. All right, let's move on to the opposition report presented by Yeg Burger. The boys are back on home ice tonight, taking on the 23-18-9 Anaheim Ducks, who are also coming off a 6-2 loss last night to the Flames. Like I said, Tyler, back here in Edmonton, and a big chance for the Oil to make it 4 in a row. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I think they can as well here. This is, they're taking on a Ducks team that has been great as of late. 4-4-2 in their last 10 games as well. They lost last night to Calgary. They got off to a really good start this season, and I think that was obviously encouraging for that organization, considering some of the changes they were going through, and they were bringing up all the young guys and that good stuff, and they still have John Gibson between the pipes. But the big difference is, for me, they've been a super average 5-on-5 team all year, 19th in 5-on-5 shots for, 19th in 5-on-5 goals for this season. On the year, 7th in power play percentage, 8th in PK. They've been winning games with special teams and goaltending. Since January 1, where things have started to get a little bit more interesting for them, 17th in power play, 23rd in penalty kill percentage. So the special teams, kind of like the Oilers in that sense, has really fallen off a cliff for the Ducks, and that's an area where Edmonton probably has to take advantage tonight.
A perfect segue into the lines for the Anaheim Ducks. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we are all over the place today.
You thought that I would continue saying no for the Anaheim Ducks, period.
All right. Ryan Getzlaf on the top line with Troy Terry and Adam Henrique on his wings. Trevor Zegras, the potential Calder Trophy winner with 2 goals in his last 5. My boy, Ricard Raquel on the right side. Number 21 on Frank Saravalli's trade bait board. Huh? Come on. Left side, Sonny Milano. Isaac Lundstrom, 3 goals in his last 5 games as well. He's had a really good season for the Ducks. Jakob Silverberg and Derek Grant. And then Sam Steele, Sherwood Park product, with Buddy Robinson and Nicolas Deslauriers. That is a 4th line, Sam Steele aside, with Robinson and Deslauriers, that is not afraid to drop the mitts and really bring that physical presence. Deslauriers specifically is one of the few kind of like regular enforcers left in the NHL. So, maybe something to keep an eye on there. D pairings for the Ducks are Hampus Lindholm with Jamie Drysdale, Cam Fowler with Greg Pattern, Simon Benoit with Kevin Shattenkirk, and the expected starter for Anaheim is John Gibson. He was yanked last night against the Calgary Flames, but since he was pulled last night, I would imagine they go back and give their number 1 guy another crack at it. In his last 5 games, he's 1-2-1 with a 3.14 goals against average, so his numbers on the year have taken a little bit of a hit recently.
And how about for the Edmonton Oilers? And guys, while you're listening in the chat, just sound off about our 3rd line, please. I'd love to hear what everyone thinks about Nuge right now in that 3rd line, and go ahead.
McDavid, Hyman, Puljujarvi. I don't think we're getting much of a change lineup-wise for the Oilers, especially in the top 6. Kane, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto. I really like the look of that second line, and of course they scored that goal late. Kane got an empty netter. Nugent Hopkins with Fogle and Derek Ryan. No reason to break up that trio the way they've been playing. And someone in the Twitch chat pointed this out. Davin Siski? I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. I'm butchering your name. But he pointed out Nugent Hopkins today is going to move into 9th all-time, passing Wayne Gretzky for most games played by an Edmonton Oiler.
Wow! Wow. Okay. Awesome.
So
That's
he's
good.
passing.
Fired up.
He's passing Wayne Gretzky, and he's 4 behind Craig McTavish for 8th on the Oilers' all-time games played list. 4th line for the Oilers. I would expect we're going 11-7 again, but I think Tyler Benson goes in for Devin Shore. Devin Shore only played like 3 minutes at 5-on-5 last game and didn't see the ice in the third period either. Really, when you look at how they're starting to utilize Ryan McLeod as a penalty killer, you got McLeod, Nuge, Ryan, Yamamoto. Draisaitl's been killing some penalties. Hyman kills penalties. There's really no reason to have Devin Shore on your 4th line anymore. I'd be keeping Tyler Benson in the lineup, and I think Jay Woodcroft will do exactly that. The D pairings. Darnell Nurse with Tyson Barrie, William Lagesson with Cody Ceci, Philip Broberg with Evan Bouchard, Marcus Niemelainen listed as the 7th D. But how about the play of Marcus Niemelainen? This fan base has fallen in love with the guy. The hits are great. He plays really positionally sound for a guy who's barely ever played in the NHL. When he was on the ice against LA, Edmonton outshot LA 7-4. The nicknames, I'll throw them your way. Nemo, okay. As in, finding Nemo. Niemelainen. Teppo, which is what McDavid called him in reference to Teppo Numminen, the old Finnish defenseman used to play for Arizona and Buffalo, or Miinalainen.
I like Nemo.
I like Nemo too.
Because Nemo's quick. Like if you're on the ice, you want to be like, Nemo, puck.
Miinalainen's kind of funny though too.
But it's so funny on Twitter to see how many people are tweeting like, I want a Niemelainen jersey. Like
they love them.
Everyone, but that's what I love about the Edmonton Oilers fan base. You guys are just awesome. But yeah, I stand Nemo.
Electronic Jordan, Niemelainen first fight tonight. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he laid a big hit on a guy like a Sam Steele and Delorier's on the ice, and Niemelainen just wouldn't have a choice in that situation. He'd have to be shedding the mitts. And when you play a physical game like that at the NHL level, you need to be ready to drop the gloves as well. So it wouldn't surprise me really at all there.
And who's in between the pipes for us? Did I miss that?
We are expecting Mike Smith to be getting the start. No reason why Koskinen should, considering he's been in COVID protocol for like a week. And Mike Smith, last time out, .938 save percentage against LA, stopped 30 of 32. So a good choice there, I think, if you're going with Smith.
All right, Tyler, points bet. What is your bet of the game now that we know that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins stat, thanks to our Twitch Twitch chat? Is that going to be in your bet of the game?
I don't mind Nugent-Hopkins to go over half an assist at -115. The Oilers, they are favorites in this game, by the way, -226 on the money line, -140 in regulation, +110 on the puck line. Their team total tonight is set at 4, and it's paying +120, but they'd have to get a 5th goal there. So that's a little bit iffy for me with John Gibson between the pipes. Don't know if I love that. My bet of the game, though, I managed to grab Connor McDavid to get a power play point at +110. Okay. I think the power play gets going. It's been too cold for too long, and if the power play gets going, it's probably because 97 is going to be involved in it. So I like McDavid power play point +110.
Awesome stuff. All right, guys, the chat's blowing up. Let's talk to you guys in here. Jake Tallender says Jay Woodcroft has been the answer so far consistently the last 3 games. We can't say enough about what he's done in these last 3 games in terms of creativity and switching things up, and motivational speeches in the locker room because we've heard it as a fan base. Again, it's early. It's only been 3 games. We have a small sample size, but at least, like I've been saying on our pregame shows, we're trending in the right direction, and we're seeing and hearing things that we love, which is, I think, super important.
Yeah. It's positivity, too, which is nice, because there was, from basically December on, there was just so much negativity around this team, and it's nice that finally it's fun to kind of sit here and break down games again, and we're not just talking about the same old. It kind of broke everyone out of their routine. From a fan perspective, from a media perspective, we're talking about new stuff. And now think about what that does for the players as well when it's kind of a fresh voice. I think it really did give this team a restart, and I think they can keep rolling too. Niemelainen's getting a lot of love in the Twitch chat as well. Mistaken Mexican, Nemo deceiving too, and I love it. Bearded Brad, why doesn't Koski go on an AHL stint, and why am I in caps lock? It's because you're as fired up as I am, Brad. You could have, I don't know what the legalities of doing that are, but Koskinen hasn't played in like 9 or 10 days. You could have very easily said, hey, you're going down on a conditioning stint. You're going to play 2 games in Bakersfield, and Skinner's going to stay up here and get the start against Minnesota or Winnipeg on the weekend.
Patty Murphy in the Facebook chat, Miinalainen. So that's a check for the Miinalainen. Gonna chuck Nux tonight against the Ducks. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, guys, let us know. Are you Team Nemo, Team Miinalainen?
Teppo. I like Teppo. That's like a little old. It has a little old school flair.
I just feel like if I was on the ice, I'd be like Nemo, because he's just such a soft name for not like a soft guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be a little bit of like a Nation Gear shirt design as well.
Yeah. Okay. The thoughts are rolling. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the Giant pregame show presented by Sherwood Ford. I promise by the next pregame show, my mouth will be working properly, and the words that come out of my mouth will be fluent. So yeah, that's
Saturday versus Winnipeg, 2 o'clock start as well. So we're still going live at 1 for that one though.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a true pregame show because we'll like lead you right into puck drop.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you then. Enjoy the game tonight.